What's up, guys? It's Motoco here, and in this video I want to talk to you about healing cards. This is going to be a healing card breakdown and comparison. And I got Carbuncle today. I looked up what Carbuncle does. He gives 15% of your total maximum hit points over the course of 5 turns. Carbuncle is going to be great for high defense, high hit point jobs, such as White Mage and Knight right now. And it's going to give you a little bit more flexibility than Hades does. Hades is kind of a limited card because of the fact that you have to use normal attacks to get your heals. Okay, now I'm going to get into that and explain that. What does Hades do? Hades gives you 100% of your hit points over the course of 5 turns, and the way you get it is 50% of your normal attacks. I think we all know that by now. Now, let's look at White Mage real fast. We're going to do a comparison between Yuna and Hades for White Mage. Now, let's give Hades a perfect world. Okay? Let's imagine that Hades has the absolute perfect conditions. That you do nothing but normal attacks, no abilities, no element drives, nothing. Okay, all 6 of your actions every turn are going to be spent utilizing Hades. Everybody knows that world doesn't exist, but for the sake of argument, we're going to do it here. Okay, now let's also assume in a perfect world that White Mage is going to do 287 damage every attack. Now, for those of you who've played White Mage, you know that's totally not true. And there's also criticals to kind of calculate in there, but for overall sake of argument, we're going to eliminate criticals, and we're just going to say White Mage deals 287 damage every attack, and we're not going to factor in any defenses. All right, so 287 attack divided by 2 is 143.5. That's per action, times 6 actions is 861 heals per turn over the course of 5 turns, and you can have a maximum potential healing ability of 4,300 hit points. Now, that's not going to happen. What's actually going to happen is you're going to hit your cap at 2,831. So let's see, where would you hit your cap? 4 turns, 3 turns. So after 3 turns, you'd pretty much hit your cap, okay? Now that's assuming that you do 6 actions 6 attacks every turn for 3 turns. Okay, so now let's look at Yuna. Yuna does a heal of about 2,200 hit points. I don't know the exact formula for Yuna. So if you look at the maximum hit points that can be healed with Hades and Yuna, Hades and Yuna are actually pretty close because it's limited on your hit points, right? So if you have 2,800 hit points and Yuna heals for 2,200, the difference is only like 600, and you're not wasting all of those actions on normal attacks. You can use whatever actions that you want to use, okay? It's not a requirement for you to use normal attacks for you to get your hit points back up. Let's also consider that some of the harder bosses in the game hit you between 1,300 and 1,500 damage with one attack, and then the next round they're going to hit you again for 700 to 800. Okay, so if they hit you for 1,500, that's 2 turns. That's automatically 2 turns of Hades just doing nothing but normal attacks just to catch up with that to recover those hit points that are lost. And then if they hit you again the preceding turn for 600 to 800, then that's another turn that you're totally wasting, okay? And that's assuming that you do no actions, nothing to the boss, so you're not even really breaking the boss, you're not cultivating your orbs, you're not putting up resistances, you're not doing any of that, and you're just barely keeping up with the heals for the damage coming in. Which is why when you need a supplemental card, even with Hades, for some of the harder fights in the game, such as Madness Unchained. You need to bring like Fat Chocobo to reduce some of the damage coming in so that Hades can keep up. Now, if you look at Carbuncle, Carbuncle is a cool card that I just got today. Carbuncle heals for 15% of your total hit points per turn for 5 turns. Hold on, let me see if I can bring it up. Anyways, Carbuncle, according to Ultima, is going to be used for high hit points, high defense jobs. The more hit points you have, the more effective Carbuncle is because it's healing you for 15% of your hit points per round. So if you have 10,000 hit points, you're going to get 1,500 a turn, which is insane. There's no card in the game that gives you 1,500 a turn, and not even Hades gives you 1,500 a turn, and that's assuming you have decent attack and but anyways, that's assuming you have 10,000 hit points as well, which you don't right now. Nobody does. But let's run some numbers, okay? Let's look at Knight real fast. So here's Knight. Knight at level 113 has 3,312 hit points. So if you calculate that out, 3,312 hit points times 0.15, which is 15%, is just under 500 hit points per turn that you're getting healed. Now let's look at what Hades does for you as a knight. Assuming a very perfect world, again, you're using all 6 actions, and you're calculating half the attack, not factoring in criticals, which doesn't matter anyways because Knight doesn't have criticals. It doesn't have very many criticals. It probably crits like once in a blue moon. Anyways, your attack is 274 as a knight. 274 divided by 2 equals 137 times 6 is around 822 hit points. So that's a difference of like 300 hit points that you're healing with Hades, but that's also assuming that you use every single action for attack, which you're not going to do. As a matter of fact, as a knight, the most you attack is 3 rounds. So if you do 137 times 3, you're like 90 hit points, healing for 90 hit points less than what Carbuncle will heal you for in one turn. So automatically Hades for Knight is not as good. Does that mean Carbuncle's for everybody? No, because there's lower hit point jobs that don't have as many hit points. Now Carbuncle could be used for Hunter because Hunter has naturally high hit points. Thief maybe possibly could use it. Assassin, definitely a bad idea. There's other healing cards that are better. As a matter of fact, Hades is probably much better for Assassin than it is than Carbuncle is. White Mage could technically use Carbuncle. And Black Mage, I don't know what Black Mage's hit points are. I'd have to go look. But I'm almost positive that Black Mage, no matter what, is never going to use Hades. You're going to want to use Yuna or Carbuncle or any number of the other healing cards in the game. Now, I've heard an argument to say that Hades has quick cast, so it's automatically going to save you on actions. That's not true. Because if you think about it, Hades, you have to do normal attacks to heal. So if you get hit hard and you need to get your hit points back, you're forced into using auto attacks instead of abilities to get back at the boss and put the boss into a break and get yourself into a better situation and gain more time to heal yourself back up. So strategically, it's not necessarily an advantage to have Hades inherently. At any rate, I feel like since Yuna is so close to Hades at this point in the game, I'm sure later on when panels 5 through 8, Hades is gonna shine. But right now, Hades is a decent heal for certain jobs, but for other jobs, there are much better options. And I'd say basically any job that has high attack, is going to be fine using Hades, but any job that has a lower attack, such as Thief has pretty low attack, Black Mage has pretty low attack, you're not going to want to use Hades. There are other more efficient means of heals. Okay? I mean, Thief is a class that already has low break power and breaks slow anyway, has low attack. So, for a Thief, I mean, um, honestly, it's probably better just to use Una. So that way you can go ahead and pop Una once, get your hit points back up. You have your clutch regen and your clutch boost as well to help with your low break power. So Thief is going to be better utilized to use Una, because Una will get you back from a low situation faster than Hades and get you back into the fight. Okay? I hope this helps, guys. This is pretty important information, things that you guys should know. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment in the section below. And if you need to look up the formulas, there's some formulas that are posted on Reddit, and there are others that are posted on various other sites like Ultima, and there's a wiki, I think, where some of these formulas are calculated at. But I just went ahead and gave Hades a perfect world. It's not the card that you guys think it is. It's not definitively the best heal in the game. I hope this kind of sheds some light on this and goes over the math and some of the argument for it. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Have a nice time trying to clear the content, and I'll see you next video.